Imagine if you have like a printer printing a piece of paper, and each piece of paper is 1 Bitcoin. So every day, your little printer prints this teeny little piece of Bitcoin, teeny little piece of paper every day. Every night, these computers, I mean, all the time, speak. So this printer is talking to a printer in Indonesia, another one in Russia, another one wherever, 24 hours a day, and saying, oh, look, another one plugged in, another one plugged in. And so now the system is saying, oh, wait a minute, there were 1 million printers yesterday. Today, there are 1.1 million printers. So now we change the allocation of value. We change the amount of Bitcoin paper that these printers can print. So yesterday, you could print this one little piece. Now, tomorrow, you print a smaller piece or a bigger piece. So we were fortunate enough to be mining when all of the Chinese miners shut down, and we were making 40% more little pieces of paper every day for like 2 or 3 months because
it gets harder and harder.
Yeah, Bitcoin spoke and said, oh, guess what? We're going to reward the machines that are still running. So that's where it's completely insane. Like, so I
run the value. I mean, you're absolutely. I hear what you're saying, but like the whole idea though is like even though you're printing like a little bit less every single time, the value will continue to go up.
Sure. Yeah.
So like everything's like
the value of the paper.
Right.
Yeah,
the
right.
paper
Value of the paper. Right.
Well, the paper value,
so
as you know,
you're printing less.
Money is paper.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
paper value is going up. That makes complete sense.
Yeah. And I have no doubt it's undoubtedly it's going to get harder to mine, but as we talk, I mean, I'm sure the numbers are going to be up. It's going to be, who knows, maybe 100. Could it be 100 in the end of this year or in 2 years?
This is why also what we're talking about also really so important. If anybody's thought about mining, is why it's important to start now. Start as early as you possibly can, because in a couple of years it's just going to be so much more harder. You're going to be,
good to get into it now. There's been, it's been a downtrend. It's capitulated down to about 39,000. It's stuck in a range 39 to 43. So this is a good time to get in because prices will go up as Bitcoin goes up, right? They'll go up. They just follow the trend. If Bitcoin starts trading again, breaks a record, 69,000, you may be left out. This is a good time to get in. It's a pullback. They call it the fear index, right?
Yeah.
Fear index is when you add more. Fear index is like Warren Buffett would say, when there's fear in the air, I buy.
Yeah.
When there's greed, I stay back, right?
Buy the dip.
Buy the dips.
Buy the dip.
Yep.
I'm an investor, so I just accumulate some. I accumulate, wait for a pullback, keep powder on the side, and say, okay. And that's why you don't get alarmed. People say, oh my God, if you're like just trying to do a day trade on crypto, it's really scary. You can't do that. Even the stock market went down almost 1,000 the other day. Crypto kind of followed that. It's been following the traditional market somewhat now. But, if you're long-term on this, where you make a lot of money is long-term.
Yeah.
Yes.
Day trade, you can make some quick high pops, right?
Yeah, of course.
But that's a lot of work. You have to follow it very closely every 3-4 hours how it's trading. So with this pullback and the ones that you really believe in, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe Solana, maybe an Avalanche, stuff like that. Cardano's down all the way down to 84 cents, so you got to add some to Cardano. But that's that one I'm not really into. But sometimes when I see something that low, I got to do something with it, right? So, but for the most part, it's an investment.
Yeah.
So you get in now. It's a long-term play. It's not a short-term play. It's a long-term play.
One of the great things about mining and what you and I kind of have done is that, like, you were doing it once a month. You would kind of buy a machine just to continue to add on, right? And which is like such a great strategy. Like my strategy was also like if I mined enough that I would just then use the Bitcoin that I'd mined to buy more miners.
Yeah.
And then just to increase the output of the production of how many
gigahash.
The gigahash and how much Bitcoin I was actually mining. So I only came out of pocket with my cash and the initial investment, but since then I think I have 28 or 29 miners.
Wow.
So just from my initial investment, which is amazing.
That's great.
Yeah, you take that Bitcoin to that mining. People say, well, how do you make that cash? You can make it cash. It's cash. You take the Bitcoin that you're mining, you transport it to an external wallet, it's called, and that external wallet, you can transfer that instantly or sometimes a little time, but pretty quick, couple of hours, back into your bank.
Sure.
If you say, what I want to go on a trip. I'm going to take 3,000 out of my Bitcoin, right? And my mining, and I'm going to go on a trip.
I think it's so important too just to have this conversation because a lot of times people get so intimidated with the words cryptocurrency or NFTs and they think, oh, I missed it, it's done. And that's such a false narrative. It is still early because even we mentioned Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, He says, think of more of the blockchain ones, like Ethereum, as software. Just like back in the dot-com boom,
Yeah.
Right.
it never went away. It just changes. Like
Yeah.
it's here to
Good
stay.
point.